Hello again, YouTube. My name is Damian Allard. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we got some stuff kind of processing there in our smelter we made last episode. You notice I have a different cast there. Well, that's because we needed to make an iron gear, which I'm not sure you can really see that very well, but yeah, iron gears. What reason do we have for that? Well, frankly, earlier I said I wanted to get into the water wheel. Well, I forgot that Infinity Evolved made things harder, including getting to water wheels. So, to get a water wheel, we need a lot of these things, which are the water wheel segments, which I thought was pretty easy, and they are. But I forgot about the water wheel itself needing a shaft of iron. For that, we need a metal former. I think a chicken just died in my smeltery. That's unfortunate. We need a shaft of iron from the metal former. To get the metal former, we need all of this, which really isn't hard. Just a bunch of iron and copper. But this one here is the problem. We need an iron chipset, which we need an assembly table for, and we will need some lasers for. On top of that, we will also need some power. But the water wheel is not available, so an important thing to note is whenever a mod pack gives you some sort of guide, however small it might be, it's a good idea to follow it. So they give us a couple of different options here. The Halia steam engine is probably one of the better ones at the get-go. I'm working for the survivalist right now, which is more efficient, is slower. So we'll figure that out shortly. And I think we'll use this to power the rock pounder once I get it. The auto hammer, I think it's called. This, on the other hand, will be what we use to power the lasers. It does require a bit of gold, though. Not that big of a deal. We just need to grind a lot of gravel. Now, something it does point out at the bottom here is that one, there is no lava generation. I think I said the last episode, there's quite a few generators that have been disabled. And all gears require it to be in a smeltery press or a metal press. All gears need the smeltery cast or the metal press from IE. All other options have been disabled. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at gears here. These are specifically from Buildcraft, really. You can make a wooden one, you can make a stone one, but you can't make iron or gold normally. You can make the diamond one normally, though. And you also got all the other gears that are, most of which don't have a whole lot of use, really, honestly. But some do in other machines. So, yeah. I guess even the other ones do. So, we'll probably be using all of them eventually. But what it's saying is the only way we can get it is from the smeltery. And it's real simple. You just make a stone gear. You set it here just like we set the brick there. And then you pour gold on top of it. And then you can pour iron out into it and get the iron gear. Yeah, we did lose a chicken in there, and he got some blood in my system. Fantastic. Yeah. Blood is not really a bad thing. It just now makes it a little bit more dangerous to get stuff like this because you can get burned when there's liquid in there. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get a lot of blood in there. We can use that for blood magic later. We'll see. But anyways, we've got our gear. What else do we need now? Well, for the survivalist generator, which is what we're going to be kind of going off of first here, We need 2 furnaces, which remember need the compressed cobblestone. We also need a bit of coal blocks and some redstone. Oh, and I guess we need a piston too. I forgot to get the piston and the redstone. So, let me grab that real quick. I think I need a bit of iron for my piston here. This here is another pattern chest. I showed you that earlier. The pattern chest can hold all the wooden patterns, or it can hold all the cast. I don't think it can do both, but you can mix and match if you want. I just prefer to have 2 separate ones myself. Right. Iron. Right. I know what I'm doing. And as you can see, I am making more string. That's for a separate project, which we'll get to shortly here, hopefully. Oh, right. Wrong thing. No, it still won't let me do it. Oh, that's why I'm short 1 cobblestone. Go figure. I do wish it would give us a small warning or something like that, but oh well. As you can see, I got quite a bit of gravel here. We did find a pretty nice method of breaking all that, that being the compressed stone hammer, which are pretty simple to make. Just 9 hammers. It has the exact same number of uses as a normal hammer, but a compressed stone hammer breaks down compressed items, like in this case compressed stone. So I just got a whole bunch of cobblestone, compressed it all, went at it, and then for each one I broke I got 9 gravel back. Just kind of a time saver really. But it's pretty simple, so I don't really think I need to demonstrate it really. Generator, right. Oi. There we go. Okay. Now this is pretty easy to run, really. Just set it down anywhere, it doesn't really matter where. Grab yourself your fuelless choice. I prefer coke, or coal coke, or coal coke block, because they last for a long time and provide a decent amount of power. It's just, like I said, really slow because it only provides 2.5. But if you actually look at the item before you just toss it in there like I just did, you can look and see that that generates about 160,000 RF, which I think is like, I want to say that's 125% of what it normally does or something like that. I don't know. Again, I'm kind of fudging numbers, so, you know, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to give that a chance to charge up. The other thing we need to work on is the, there it is. We could go with the automatic hammer or the automatic sieve, both of which are pretty easy to make. Both do require power. And unfortunately, the survival generator is not really going to be enough to do all of it, but it's at least a start. Unfortunately, this requires invar, which, you know, isn't hard to get, so that's not a big deal. Does require an anvil, though, which I forget, was that one of the ones that changed? No, just requires a lot of iron. Okay. So, why don't we pause here, guys, and we'll come back to this hopefully later. I can show you either the atomic hammer, or I might maybe do the compressed hammer. Oh no, that's a lot of time, so probably not the compressed hammer. So, show you. I'll be back shortly when hopefully we get that all set. Okay, YouTube, welcome back. As you can see, that one piece of cold coke is doing quite a lot. So I'm going to need to find some way of draining that off shortly, or we're going to waste some. I thought about using the auto hammer, but I think a better use of my time, and in particular Twitch's patience, might be to make the auto sieve instead. The auto sieve is real simple. It basically set it down next to an energy source, and it is already going to start filling up, so we don't have to worry about wasting anything now. Actually hold quite a bit. The power gauge glitched out. That's interesting. But it is filling up, and that takes about 64 of the about 120, I think it was. And basically what you do is you put some gravel in there, and it starts working. And the nice thing about it is, this can run by itself, so I can be busy doing other things or doing the other sieve if I want to. But it also stores everything in here. So unless I move it and decide to, hook up a hopper or something to it, I don't have to worry about draining this really. As long as I don't do multiple different types of things, this is not going to fill up just off of, gravel or whatever. So, the only downside to this is I think it takes 40 RF a tick, which is 8 times faster than what this thing can produce. So there is that issue. It's doing good now, but it's almost a 75% power already. So it's not going to be doing as good later on. Something to keep in mind. Actually, that hopper idea is not a bad idea, all things considered. But really, that was pretty simple. You guys kind of saw me do it. All it took was some bar, which is just 2 iron and nickel bar, and some electrum, which is just a 1-to-1 gold silver to electrum. So that was pretty easy. Lost my train of thought. Right. What we're going to try to do next to get ready for the lasers, though, because the survivalist generator, bless its heart, is not going to be enough for lasers. So we're going to get a hobbyist steam engine going, and that just requires a lot of gold, really. So while this is over here chugging away at the automatic sieve, which, as you can see, is already out of power. Yeah. While it's doing that, I'm going to be using the other one to try to help it out and get some gold something here quickly. Okay, welcome back, YouTube. As you can see, my generator is still going there, powering my little sieve, and you can tell it's not going very fast right now, because it has to, about 8 ticks, or about half a second, has to go by for each time it whacks at the gravel, whereas I just have to go like this and basically wax it each time. So in the time that it's taking it to do what it's done, I've already gone through 2 stacks, and it's gone through about a third. So yeah, this is a good start, but the survivalist generator, bless its little heart, is just not cutting it. And this is not fast enough for what we need. And I'm not particularly a big fan of sitting here and sieving everything all day either. So there is another alternative. This is the heavy sieve. You can tell it's oak wood instead of planks, and a heavy second mesh, which is just 4 normal silk mesh. So that's roughly 70 string right there. Not hard, all things considered. I'll set it right next to it, really. So, but what's good with this one? Well, unfortunately, I can't power this one yet. But the good thing about it is I can compress my gravel like so, and use the heavy filter to go through all of that. And just one thing, I've gotten, well, about 6 different items. Now, I should point out there is a small amount of loss with the heavy sieve, but this is considerably faster compared to trying to do it all by normal. I mean, take a look at this. That was just one stack, and I'm done already. If I go over there, grab a couple more stacks of cobblestone, use my compressed hammer to smash it all down, I've cut down time considerably. Yes, like I said, there is a small amount of loss with this, but that's not too bad, really. Can't remember if it... No, it doesn't give... I think we lose like 2 gravel or something like that. But gravel doesn't necessarily give you everything anyway. Or, sorry, gravel doesn't necessarily give you anything everywhere. It's just kind of the way the number generators work. So, really kind of evens out. So, I think that's probably going to do it for this run here, guys. Right now, I want to get the hobbyist steam engine made. That way it's set to go. I think I want to make a couple of hoppers for a couple of different things too. But really, right now we're waiting on gold for that hobbyist steam engine. So there is that. And I think I might stop the auto sieve for now, because frankly it is really slow right now. And the next machine I need to get is from forestry. So I might have the survivalist generator use up the last of its 20 minutes of power sieving, and then I'll get it ready to start powering that forestry machine, which again will be slow, but it will be making progress. Or actually, before the forestry machine, I think I need to make that no, I can't do that yet. So yeah, it will be the forestry machine. Just remember that if you ever have any questions, there is always the guide. It does tell you the different sorts of power options you have. For example, I could go with either the hobbyist or the peat-fired. The peat-fired requires a lot of dirt though, so I'll be going with the hobbyist. Then it will tell you what you need to do to get into it. So I'll need to get into these 2 forestry machines before I'm able to really get into the assembly tables, because they have these diamond electron tubes, which are kind of annoying. But I think that's going to be it for today, though. So thank you for joining me, and while in between this episode and next, I'll try to do a bit more sieving to get the heavy sieving out of the way, get the gold and everything ready. Fortunately, I believe the forestry machines use copper and tin, not gold. Where are they? That's one, and yeah, that's bronze, which, yeah, tin and copper. That sturdy casing is also bronze. And that one, okay, that one does use a little bit of gold, but still is mostly bronze. So once we get enough gold to get past the hobbyist steam engine, it's pretty much full steam ahead from there. And once we can get some decent power going, then the whole sieving and everything will become pretty much automatic and won't be much of a hassle anymore. But I'm rambling again, so again, my name is Damien Oliver. Thank you for watching my stream and my YouTube channels. If you do have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the descriptions below. Otherwise, have fun.